Hi, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I am a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobay, and last year we have released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a pretty heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out two of our music videos on my YouTube channel. We're building our own monument and Fake the New Kind of Beauty, and also a studio live take of A Way to Oppose. Description of all these videos you will find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via email, on Facebook, on Instagram, or you can get one through Bandcamp. And today I'm going to review the new album from Maids, Undress Your Madness.
Music review. Music review.
Maids are rock legends from Denmark, and I probably even think that they are the most successful and famous band from Denmark, but I may be wrong. And I have listened to a couple of their albums. Unlike some other artists I make reviews for, I'm not 100% familiar with their discography, but I've listened to, I think, their first three albums, which might have been like 12 years ago, so kind of when I was growing up. I also listened to their 2010s Pandemonium, I think. That album was kind of suggested and promoted by Tobias Sammet of Avantasia, and Ronnie Atkins, the singer from Maids, is also one of the guest vocalists on Avantasia, not only on their studio albums, but also he's one of the singers who sings with them live, and I seen him twice with Avantasia. It was really amazing. He's one of those singers who aged really gracefully, and his voice matured, but it remained the same essence as it had when he was young. And it seems like they were getting a lot of praise for their recent albums. It seems like they keep releasing a new album every 3 years. So the Undress Your Madness came out a week ago. I've heard it 6 times as of now, so let's talk about this guy for a little while. There are 10 tracks on the album plus intro, and I would sort of divide those 10 tracks into like 3 categories. So first we have some heavier tracks, like for example the first track on the album, Serpentine, is this modern epic melodic metal song with a really big and catchy chorus. In a way it's like their classical song Future World, but in 2019. Another big sounding metal track is the title track, Undress Your Madness, with really great riffs and with a melody very reminiscent of the 80s, and it sounds great. One of my favorite tracks on the album is If You Want Peace, Prepare for War, which is a really badass track. It has a very catchy and big chorus. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Avantasia. And another very modern sounding track is Slave Driver. With those keys, it kind of reminds me of German industrial rockers Alive Divided, which is a good thing. Then there are a few songs that are slightly more on the accessible side, and they are more in like pop rock style. For example, the Fire So Fly. It is basically a pop rock song, but the production is just so thick and dense, and it makes it sound a lot heavier than it actually is. And I like that even though it's so accessible in terms of melody, it still has like 1,000 times more balls than Bon Jovi. And I don't know why is it that all these really big and famous bands like Bon Jovi or Aerosmith, they kind of keep playing pop these days, while the bands that are slightly less famous, they keep playing metal or, you know, heavy rock music that they got famous for. Another track is Will You Kiss Me If I See You in Heaven. I love that 80s atmosphere at the beginning, and even though I like the song as it is, I don't really like the chorus, which is just as cheesy and predictable as it can get. I have literally heard like hundreds of songs with a chorus like this, so this is something that a band like Pretty Maids should be more careful about. Another pop rock song is Shadowland, which has a really nice melody, and it seems to be another song kinda influenced by Tobias Sammet's songwriting. The final track on the album is Strength of a Rose, which is kind of like a power ballad. It is, however, a little bit of that heard it before kind of song. And then there are two tracks which I would classify as arena rock, like for example Runaway World, which has a really great melody, and it's very 80s, but that modern production really makes it sound up to date, which is not something many bands like Pretty Maids go for. And the other track is Black Thunder. This is a pretty solid album, especially considering that this is their 14th studio album, and I think that it's aimed at their long-time fans who will definitely not be disappointed with this one. Also, I do have to say that Pretty Maids are aging very, very gracefully, something that I've noticed with Europe, so I guess it must be a Scandinavian thing. There are some weaker moments, but generally I really enjoyed this album, and I should probably finally go through their discography, as I've been planning to for like last 5 or 6 years. Have you heard a new album already? You can let me know in the comment section below whether you agreed or disagreed with me. If you're already a Pretty Maids fan, you can let me know how well do you think it compares to their previous albums, maybe which is your favorite one. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this review, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music, my live performances, my worst to best series, and quite a lot of other reviews as well. Thanks a lot for watching.